Alrighty, so let's get into today's stories, okay? And at the end, I have some feelings I need to get off my chest. So I'll spend some time talking about, just a little rant because it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's time for tea. Time to unwind and relax. We're not trying to be woke and all that shit. That's for Monday, to propel us into the week. Now we're careening down into the weekend and we just need to get shit off our chest. Anyway, so look forward to that at the end of our 6 brown chicks stories. So, story number 1. To be honest, she had my son without my permission. Hibana, what a weird way to start a story. Okay, we effed around, but I didn't want to be connected to her in that way. When she told me she was pregnant, I told her, do what you want to do, but I won't be involved. I got another baby mama, and we have 2 girls. She moved on with a friend of mine who married her and is raising my son. My son is 7. I've never met him. My mother spends time with my son, but she won't share her pics of him. She tells me to take your own pics of your son. My mother, my ex, and my friend are raising my son without any input from me. My ex is pregnant again, and my mother spends her weekends babysitting my son at their house. He's my blood. My mother is my blood, and I feel so disrespected and ignored by both of them. My friend also stabbed me in the back by marrying my ex. I have bad feelings about the situation, and I need my son to know that I'm his real dad. How do I introduce myself without causing BS? I'm surrounded by backstabbers. I refuse to let them erase me. Because you are the one who said, do what you want. I won't be involved. Ankere, kwena eating hore, skankenya, remove me from the WhatsApp group. So then they did exactly that, baby. They followed your wishes. And so what if your friend stepped up? Your friend stepped up and was more of a man than you could ever be. Stepped up, showed out, and has been treating homegirl well enough to be able to take care of her child for 7 years, marry her, and put another baby in her, and now you're jealous. It's much like last week. I'm starting to see a trend here. The trend being that you don't want people to be happy. You think that the moment someone gets pregnant, or when you make a woman pregnant, that you are stopping their life, that they will no longer grow, succeed, or anything like that. That you associate parenthood with failing in life in some way or another. And then when you see other people being happy, just say that you're unhappy. Say that you're unhappy and that you wish you had what they had, because now you're seeing a happy family, a support structure, love, joy, growth, connectedness, and you don't have any of that. And that's the problem with these problematic men who think that they can roam the streets doing whatever to whoever. And then when you're old and gray, you want these children to suddenly take care of you. These children that you never cared a damn about when they were younger. Now they must come and look after you. No, bitch, they're just going to put you in the old age home and you're going to be pinched by some pissed off nurse who hates her fucking job and she's just there to clock out. And you'll be stuck in your diaper the whole night with no one coming to change you until the morning. And then they're going to tune you out for smelling. That's the life that you're setting up for yourself by being irresponsible, by being careless, and by being a piece of shit, fam. Let's be honest. You're the one who decided to chow homegirl raw. She told you what was going on and you made your choice. And now somehow they're backstabbers? No, girl. No, baby. No. It doesn't work like that. Anyway, if you disagree, if you agree, let me know. All right. Story number 2. My boyfriend is always broke. He works 2 jobs and spends all the money from his first job to make it to his second. Oh, damn. A waste of time. So I made him quit the second job to stay home and babysit my kids. A friend got me a weekend job as a bottle service model. First night working in the VIP, I met a famous rap artist. The rapper's bodyguard told me that the rapper wanted some sloppy tabby, and to meet him in the car behind the club. The rapper had tipped me $200 at this point, so I said, cool. The rapper had a fetish and he wanted 2 women on him at the same time. So we had to do him, then kiss one another. Okay, second woman was a jealous bitch, and she dug her nails in my face and tried to bite my tongue. What the hell? The bodyguard pulled me out of the car and the rapper stayed with the other woman. I was attacked. My face was bruised. I didn't press charges because I was ashamed and I didn't want my boyfriend to know what I did for money. I can't return to bottle service until my face heals. Meanwhile, my boyfriend is still broke. I deserve so much better than the broke man I have. How do I level up with someone else while keeping him around to babysit? It really is the end times. Lovers and friends? Wow. O itse gore ngwana mong a tlele mosebetsi gore a kate bana ba hao a qete mo or you don't want to deal with broke guys. Well, the rich guys have bitches biting you in the face. So, Keta girl, choose. You need to choose your heart here because clearly none of these lives are easy. Everybody is suckling one way or another. It's either you have bitches biting your tongue or you have broke people who work hard. And I, for one, personally, I'd go for the guy who works hard. Personally. I mean, yes, you'd hardly ever have time to see him. And when you do see him, he's tired. But you make it work. Do you get what I mean? You motivate him. You encourage him. You encourage each other. Because clearly both of you aren't necessarily skilled laborers. If your first option of employment is a bottle service hand, I'm not saying bottle service hands, are less than, like it's a job. Any job that, pays your bills, that allows you to, meet your needs is a great job. And I'm not against sex work. But my point is, it is not as if you're a CEO of some company earning big stacks and you're dealing with some guy who can't keep his life together, who's working 2 jobs and running around and can't even afford to Uber. Do you get what I mean? You guys are in the same bucket. You're in the same bucket. You're dating your type. You get what I mean? Because you're calling him a broke person, but then the people that you think you quote unquote deserve, they're also writing into 6 brown chicks and saying this hun is broke and coming back with scratches on her face. Like, do you get what I mean? Do you think that the people you think you deserve want you and what you have and the little that you have? Because Kalibala, you cannot afford childcare. As much as you're broke man, he needs 2 jobs and whatever, you can't afford childcare. And that's why you're bamboozling this man into taking care of your children so that you can get free childcare. So neither one of you can afford your lives. And the basic necessities of your lives you cannot afford. So leave that man alone and stop calling him broke as if somehow you're sitting on a pile of money. Because you literally just had someone bite your tongue and scratch your face for what? 200 rand? $200 in tips? And the cost of living in America is high. So converting it into rands, oh, okay, is a different story. But come on, girl, that's not even rent. That time you're maimed and now you can't even go back to work. At least the guy that you're with has a job. He has one, even though he was dumb enough to listen to you and quit the other. He still has a job. That's one more than you currently, because you're out here handing out sloppy toppy at the back for any person who's got extra change. So stop it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Doch. On to the next one. Ugh, I'm really pumping out these things. I'm on fire today. Honestly, it's because I had a terrible day at work. I love these stories. I'm enjoying reading the stories. It's a perfect time because honestly, I need to escape into other people's messy lives because my own is giving me anxiety. But with that being said, that anxious energy, that vibration, sometimes anxiety sort of like vibrates in the body. That's the energy that has me pumping through these stories really quickly. So apologies, but this is where I am right now. And take it or leave it, baby. Now, story number 3. I have a girlfriend. Okay, shout out to you. Pew, pew, pew. We've been together for 9 years. We have 4 kids. Our neighbor invited me to her apartment for cocaine and waffles. Wait, see? Imagine, just so casually, cocaine and waffles. You know what I mean? Okay. We linked up a few times, but I don't think we've had sex. Oh, Bana. You don't think? How strong is the cocaine? I recall slipping to her apartment, watching porn, snorting a few lines. We never undressed and we never ate waffles. Oh, okay. So I was confused when she told me I got her pregnant. She showed me a positive pregnancy test and wants to meet with my girlfriend to discuss our situation. She's getting evicted and wants to move in with us. Oh, her irresponsible lifestyle can destroy everything for me and break my girlfriend's heart. I already got 4 children. I don't want no outside coke baby wrecking my life. What to do? I'm going nuts and feeling depressed without her coke. Oh, Tico. Advice. Guys. Tlallela di drugs. Nyaupe kills. And sometimes it doesn't kill your body. It kills your dreams. It kills bophelo ba hao. This picture that you have for yourself, picture entle jwang. O na le motho wa hao wa 9 years, o na le bana ba hao ba 4, ba cute, ba tshwana le wena low key, ba na le marama, ba na ditloti marameng. Woo! And then tlang, nyaupe. And then ba utlisetsa the pregnancy test. Se ba bua ka bo Sethembu and o tseba hantle hore o se wa 9 years and keke a dumele Sethembu. You know what I mean? I'd say get a paternity test if you don't remember having sex with Home Slice. Also, were they giving you the cocaine and buttering you up, was what happened sexual assault? Because if you don't remember it happening, it doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't consensual, but it also doesn't necessarily mean that it was, especially if from your end you don't remember even, getting undressed or starting anything funny like that. So, yeah, I definitely say go to rehab, seek counseling to get off the drugs, fam. Because also it's not homegirl's fault. What are you doing taking drugs when you have a whole family? You have 4 kids. Dwellings are for people that have nothing to lose. Do you feel me? But somehow it's always the bitches who have everything to lose. I guess having something to lose is the cause of the stress in the first place, perhaps. And that having nothing to lose kind of gives you a certain level of freedom that allows you not to be so bogged down with life and its issues. I don't know. This is I'm this is all just conjecture at this point, but nonetheless, seek help, fam. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because life is not for the weak-willed. All right. Question number 4, or story number 4. I was sitting next to my girl Jamaica when the police's Facebook post ran my picture as a person of interest for an armed robbery. And before I could explain, she was dialing 911 while looking me dead in the eyes. I was in those guts the night before, and now she's turning me in? I'm out on bail in the same apartment with her, and I know that she won't hold me down when this goes to trial. How do I transform my quick to snitch bitch into a ride or die chick? I've got a few licks, quote unquote, scam opportunities coming up, and I must be sure that she'll be my alibi. I deserve a loyal woman like everyone else in my crew has. Advice. Oh my gosh, this just became so sad because bahoti ba hao kaofela ba na le support. You get what I mean? Ba na le osi aba duletseng ka ntlong ba re no matter what, baby, ke nna le wena. Together forever, tight like a booty hole. And then ona yana wa hao. Ananako yao. Are aba tsoetsa ntho tsa o tla di etsa mara ska nkenya. Ska nkenya tabeng tseo tsa hao. And I mean, hey, do you deserve a ride or die? I guess that's the question for the ages, really. You know what I mean? If you know that you're putting someone in harm's way, do you want them to volunteer for that harm? You want them to be masochistic in nature. And by you wanting that, that makes you sadistic. Do you feel me? I guess every pot has a lid. And the advice I'd say here is that this is not the lid for you. You need to go find someone else. You can't make, what did he say? A quick to snitch bitch. You can't turn a quick to snitch bitch into a ride or die. Ride or die energy comes, it started when you're young. It's the culmination of many childhood traumas and bad relationships and awkward attachment styles. Like, it's homegrown, this shit. You can't just patchwork something together and make them a ride or die. Do you get what I mean? It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Maybe a little Stockholm energy. Do you feel me? So if anything, you should have been able to identify this from the beginning and either put in the work, the slow, painless work of transforming them into the ride or die that you need them to be. And you would need to admit to yourself that you are willing to put someone through psychological warfare, maybe even physical anguish. But it's too late. It's too late now. The stakes are too high. You need to do this thing when things are peaceful, when they aren't aware of the stakes. Now they know very well. No. Do you get me? And now it becomes a question of choosing you and jail or choosing freedom. And obviously, if they grew up with Maya Angelou, they don't want to be a caged bird. Do you feel me? And right now, you are the cage and they are singing. Anyway, all the best, Chamiza. All the best. Number 5. Greetings from the Big Easy, New Orleans. I tracked my wife's phone because she's been acting shady and slipping out at night. Brackets, after I've gone to bed. Ooh. I followed my wife and her bestie. The women were both dressed in black and dragging a white man into an alley. What? My wife straddled him and was kissing his neck. I called her name and my wife hissed at me. Her friend and the guy, who was bleeding from his neck, argued that I ruined their fantasy. My wife and her friend are members of an underground vampire sex club. Vampire sex club Potions. I don't know why the word potions is there, but okay. My wife is an elementary school teacher and she never invited me to be a part of this. I've lost trust in our marriage. My wife says she's lost trust in me because I tracked her phone. Who's wrong? Advice. You're both wrong. I don't understand why people think there always only has to be one right person. Do you feel me? You lost your opportunity to be the right one when you decided to move shady. You can see her moving shady and you decide to also be shady. Now you're both wrong. But had you just noted the behavior and tried to address it like an adult, maybe suggest couples counseling if she's not willing to open up to you and explain why she goes out at night, where you can just tell her like, hey girl, I'm noticing hore hake ya beteng wena so tsamaya, like what's going on? You know what I mean? Do you have another job? Like what's going on? And give her the opportunity to maybe open up to you. It could also be that like your behavior in the past has told her that you're not open-minded and you're not willing to accept or understand this side of her, and therefore she felt that she had to keep it covered. Do you feel me? And that's where the couples counseling would have come in handy, where if she didn't open up with your initial inquiries, then maybe having the counselor or the therapist there to operate as a mediator would then, provide the safety needed for her to then open up about the issue. If she then still refuses to open up about this issue and she's really closed you off, then leave the relationship because you clearly don't trust her. The moment you're sneaking down the street and following someone and you're tracking their phone and all these clandestine missions, that is a clear sign that the trust is gone. Before you even know what she's actually doing, it's not about that anymore. Whether she's in a vampire sex club or if she was literally just picking up trash trying to keep the streets clean, you don't trust them anymore. And they clearly don't trust you if they're keeping this. So leave, Buddhas, leave. So both of you are wrong because you're not dealing with this in a healthy way. Do you feel me? So yeah, hard luck. And also now, don't kink shame. Don't kink shame. Don't yuck other people's yums, and don't interrupt someone when they're busy doing the things. Yeah, they're cheating on you, but like let them finish, let them bust a nut, let them, feel their zhuzh at least. You ruined the night, and now she has to have an awkward conversation with you. I mean, come on. Anyway, number 6. And number 6 will be our last story. Okay. My friend Angie and I met Walt at the same party. He's our type. While Angie flirted from across the room, I took Walt home and did my thing. We bonded. A month later, Walt told me that he was taking Angie on a date, but it was nothing serious. I was hurt, but not jealous, because Angie's face is beautiful, but she's shaped like a busted can of biscuits, frumpy in the front, lumpy in the back. Damn! How is Angie your friend when this is how you describe her? Shit, okay. After their date, I showed Walt more attention and effed him harder. Walt enjoyed our time together, but I saw him less. He ghosted me. I had issues at work and didn't pay much attention to Walt until I received Angie and Walt's wedding invite. Hebana. They looked like the number 10. Oh. Wait, see. Bujelas. Okay, they look like the number 10. He, long and slender. She, short and round. I was furious and confused. Walt chose her over me. I took a sexy selfie in my favorite white panties and high heels. I photoshopped my butt cheeks to look larger. I texted the pic to Walt. Me. Come through, I miss you. He returned my pic with a red circle drawn on my ass. Him. I can smell this pic. I didn't realize the Photoshop cheeks created a dark crater in the center of my butt that looked like a stain. How do I recover from this? Hi. Wabana Maka. Just to be, you know what? Just desserts, girl. Just desserts. Don't recover, take the L, and accept that Walt liked Angie more than you. Because Angie is not a spiteful bitch like yourself. She's probably a wonderful person who's really sweet. Even if she's a terrible human being who clubs seals on the weekend, Walt likes her better than you. And you were so busy at work, you didn't realize that these people are now getting engaged. And, like, come on. How busy were you at work and for how long? Because I refuse to believe that these people are now engaged to each other after, like, a month. And even if they are, it doesn't matter. Salayo. He's made his choice. Move on. Do you want to be someone's second choice? Come on now. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to be your first choice. And only accept first choice energy. Okay? And also fix your attitude. Be a better person. Work on yourself. Gosh. Okay. That is the end of our stories. Now, I know I apologize for all the background noise. You know what it is. But anyway, what I wanted to get off my chest, and I mean, reading these stories has really allowed me to, like, and I don't feel so, I don't feel so angry anymore. Not that I was angry before, but just really frustrated. You can't, something a friend of mine said earlier this week, which is just so poignant. You can't change your colleagues. You can only change your workplace. Do you feel me? Like, if you're just surrounded by idiots, and I'm not saying that I'm surrounded by idiots, but there are one or two individuals that really get under my skin. And I'm just like, how much of my life am I going to spend trying to explain common sense to an adult? Do you get what I mean? Trying to enforce common sense to adults, and then you try to be gracious, and be like, well, they don't have work experience. This is the only workplace, that they're a victim of their environment and circumstance and and whatever. But you also kind of have to accept that maybe sometimes they're just unwilling to learn, or you're not the person that they can learn from, and that maybe removing yourself from that environment is the best thing you can do for yourself and for them. Anyway, until I come across a rich man who's willing to just, pay me to be a housewife, I think I'd be a fantastic housewife. I'd keep myself busy with all sorts of hobbies, keep the house looking pristine. It would be so lively, full of plants. I'd be happy to see them at the end of every day because I won't be social with anyone throughout the day. So they would be, my social time in the evening. And then on weekends I have hobbies, so they can go fuck off and be with their friends. I'm with my friends. Obviously I can't see my friends during the day because I'm assuming they're at work or doing their own things or maintaining their own households, because I wish richness and wealth and abundance for all my friends. But they're busy maintaining their households during the week, so we see each other on the weekends, maybe go on little short trips, whatever, and we just have full lives that are fully funded by wealthy individuals who are more than happy to throw money in our direction. And that's what I need. That's what I need right now. So if anybody knows somebody, just, pull up on me. Now, Where am I going with this? My rant. Oh, guys. Tyler Perry is... he's the bane of my existence. I regret watching that movie. Okay, I'm going to keep it brief because I know this is not a popcorn fodder episode. However, I would never recommend or even watch this on a popcorn fodder episode, because popcorn fodder is for good movies. Okay, so for context, I hurt my knee, and I'm a woman of a certain age now where falling is really something you have to announce to your loved ones. Do you get what I mean? So I am now nursing this hurt knee that is refusing to heal and has me writhing in pain. And I was just like, sometimes people suggest hurting yourself somewhere else when you've hurt yourself so that you focus on the newer pain and forget about the older one. Kind of something like that. So I'm watching this new movie called Mea Culpa. And I mostly was watching it because I love me some Kelly Rowland. And I'd seen a promo thing on Instagram with like strong black leads or whatever, she was wearing a really like racy outfit. And I was like, ooh. And then I saw the male lead and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh. He's a cutie. I like the beard. I like the bass, So let's go for it. And for a moment, I forgot it was a Tyler Perry movie, so I watched it like a dumbass. Tyler Perry just needs to say that he, number one, hates women in general, but specifically hates his mom. And he just needs to go call her. I don't know if she's still alive. If she is, he just needs to call her and get some shit off his chest. Please. And then, how is it? Oh, the scenes. Oh my gosh, the scenes didn't make sense. There were so many things that should have been on the cutting room floor. The movie was so long. The ending was not that much of a surprise. It was just all so choppy. First of all, there's a scene where Kelly Rowland is following this guy into some sex dungeon type thing. The way we spent so much unnecessary time watching this guy walk 5 steps and then watching Kelly Rowland walk the same 5 steps. And then he walks the next 5 steps and then she's walking the next 5 steps. And then he walks and then he opens the door and then she opens the door. Like, honestly, they could have just cut that scene down to where he walks off in an opposite direction towards the door in the distance, and she's supposed to go in the opposite direction to call her Uber. She pauses and decides to turn around and follow him. Okay, cool, she's following him. Then, as he's walking down, you see him open the door with this red light emanating from the door, and then, he disappears behind the door and goes down the steps. Then the next scene should have been her head popping in through the door from a different angle. So now they are inside the room where the red light is coming in. And then you see Kelly Rowland's head pop in, right? Because we've already established what this red room is now. So let her head pop in. And then we haven't really established what the red room is, but we've established that you go down some stairs, there's music playing. We have more information now. So let her receive this information, and then boom, he's in there, because she never encounters him in the room. She doesn't follow him or look for him. She doesn't spend that much time in there. So you just need a second. Also, that whole scene in general was unnecessary. We've already established that this guy is a sex fiend. So there's really no need to hammer this point home. How stupid do you think your audience is? You get what I mean? You had to literally show us hore o mo lateletse into kamore ena le steps le light tse green. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was number one. The editing, complete waste of time. The movie could have been 30 minutes at this point if they had cut out unnecessary scenes. And then on top of that, there's a scene where he confesses his undying love, and he says, I hug you every time I see you because I want to feel you in my arms, or something stupid like that. I did not see him hug her once. I didn't see a single hug. There was only one moment where I saw him brush the back of her jacket, towards her lower back. He didn't even fully make contact with her. He just hovered his hand on the jacket when she was busy talking to her husband, and there was that little vase you moment. So hore, are ke batla ho hugger because I like the way you smell. That's why I always want to hug you. Like, what the hell? What the hell? There's just so much. Yeah, so the movie was just bad. And it's like he saw Get Out, Jordan Peele's Get Out, and he was like, how can I make that bad? This was so good. I can't top that, but I can sure as hell make it terrible. And that's what he decided to do with His Afternoon. And then on top of that, Lovers and Friends, why is it that in all these movies, there's always this like absolutely amazing woman who's doing great things, she's a mover and a shaker, and there's a bummy guy? Do you feel me? The yellow bone is never doing like a serious job. And the one who is doing a serious job is the dark-skinned nigga who's weird and into, criminal elements or snacks. Like, no one can just be normal. You feel me? And then Kelly Rowland's bestie. How is it that you and Kelly Rowland, two amazing women who seem to be doing well for yourselves, you've chosen these two? Honestly, it was a bad story told poorly. Because I've had it. I can't believe I wasted 2 hours of my life. Mara, I'm the one who chose to watch that, so consequences. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you also didn't enjoy the Tyler. If you did like the Tyler Perry movie, maybe I just need to hear it from a different perspective. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something that I'm missing that is making this. Maybe I have an inherent bias because I don't fucks with Tyler Perry films in general. Do you feel me? I mean, obviously, Diary of a Mad Black Woman has a satisfying scene when Charles is there bubbling on the waters in the bath. You know what I mean? But even then, the movie in general, not that great. Like her deciding to go back to him for 2 minutes and then serving him divorce papers and Shamar Moore there in his weird ass wig. It's a lot. Yeah, he sees women as useless, stupid, and helpless in some weird ass way. But also perpetrators, I don't know, he has really complex feelings about women, and that's why I think he needs to call his mom. But then also he doesn't like men either. He just doesn't like anyone. I think there's just a lot of self-hate and unaddressed hate towards his mom. That's my diagnosis, and I'm not a professional, nor have I ever met or spoken to him, but that's what I'm seeing. Anyway, thank you again. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I hope the rest of the week, flows by with ease. I hope you have a restful weekend, one where you can recharge and pour back into yourself. I hope that you have people who pour into you, who will listen to you rant about work, who will encourage you and help you apply for new jobs if necessary. I hope you have a network of care. And I hope you make time to take care of yourself and put yourself first. Have a good week. Bye.